So have you played the previous two?
Yeah. Strange thing though, it actually took me a year after buying both of them to play them. I honestly couldn't tell you what took me so long to actually get around to it, but this is actually a record so far. It's taken me 2 weeks to get around to playing.
That's an improvement. It's an improvement.
It's coming down from a year anyway, I suppose what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I played the first two. Really liked Arkham Asylum, and I didn't really like Arkham City. I thought the traversal of the city was pretty awkward, especially later in the game when everyone's armed machine guns and you can hardly get from point A to point B without being riddled with bullet holes.
Yeah.
But it does seem like they fixed that problem here. So with the gameplay, I feel it's way too similar to Arkham City.
Yeah, they've not done anything new with it at all, apart from make the, what's it called again? The riposte, when you counter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Riposte? What the hell is that? When you counter...
Was this a fencing game?
It might be. I don't know. I'm sure if he called it, the bat could do a bit of fencing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure he's properly trained.
Classically, no less.
Yeah,
But no, the countering, thank you, it does seem a bit more... I don't know, there's a bit more of a time lapse there, I think, particularly when you're dodging the knife strikes as well. I find it very difficult to actually get the timing right on that. Inevitably you get stabbed about a little bit.
See, I just played it just now on the PS3 and I can totally see what you mean. I'm playing it on my own on the 360 and it seems a lot more responsive than the PS3. There are a couple of times where you go to counter and it doesn't register, maybe because you're in the middle of a combo or something. But it feels just as responsive as Arkham City did on the 360. But I can see exactly what you mean on the PS3. There is that sort of little bit of lag between you doing something and Batman reacting to it.
You didn't get to cover by your fruit. You do understand that, right? Stupid! Come on! We'll drop this view.
I do think they've reused a lot of assets from Arkham City. I mean, I don't know if they have, but it feels that way. The city itself feels a lot like Arkham City.
Yeah. It's a very, very similar game. In fact, I think that's one of the criticisms that I've heard made of it. It is just more of the same, but you either like that or you don't, I suppose. I personally, when I eventually got around to playing Arkham City a year after buying it, I really enjoyed it. I really got into it.
See, I didn't. I preferred Arkham Asylum. I preferred how Arkham Asylum was more of a sort of... It's like sort of Metroid or Castlevania where you're in a set area and you unlock things through the story to get past certain points. Like, you'll pass a door and you won't be able to access that. Then you come back to that point later once you get the cryptographic sequencer so you can get in to beat Poison Ivy. And it was more of a... It was almost more linear, if you know what I mean. Like, it's in this one set place, you go from point A to point B, but you do have to backtrack a lot. Felt like a sort of Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime 2, that sort of thing. Whereas I think the open world harmed Arkham City, and they've refined it a bit more for Arkham Origins, but I still prefer the first one in the series, and I think it gave it more character as well, having a sort of smaller enclosed space rather than this big sprawling city.
I suppose the thing that we really should talk about though is the voice.
The casino. Penguin's assistant must be nearby. I'll make her tell me where I can find Cobblepot's office.
I don't actually see it as being too different than the previous two games, apart from on occasion when he seems to be channeling either Christian Bale or Tom Hardy. It's like he can't decide if he's Batman or Bane now and again.
Yeah, no,
I get
that.
Peculiar.
I think he's trying too much to be Batman, if that makes sense. It feels a bit too forced. It doesn't feel like that is Batman's voice. It sounds like someone trying to do a Batman voice.
Well, yeah, but he slips out of it every now and again. Like, occasionally he's like that. Yeah. But every now and again he just kind of slips into what seems to be a normal speaking voice, and it is then that he actually does seem to sound a lot like the character I've known from the previous two games.
Yeah. I mean, I know they were trying to go for a younger Batman, but this Batman doesn't sound younger to me. I think they should just get Kevin Conroy back.
They say crime doesn't pay. Someone ought to check the good police commissioner's pockets, because they are lined with my money. And what have I got to show for it, huh? My own men in the slammer? Not no more. No, tonight, We're making some changes. Some big changes.
I mean, it's essentially Arkham City again, if you
More or
ask me.
less.
The story is especially is Arkham City again. Oh, the bad guys have taken over Gotham City. You need to save it, you know?
Yeah. There's all these assassins running around.
The assassins are cool. We haven't talked about the assassins
No, we
yet.
haven't.
Have you got to the Deathstroke fight yet?
No, I've only encountered the first one so far, which was Electrocution Round.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
That was hilarious.
That was absolutely brilliant.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. I've not fought him again yet, but I'm assuming you'll fight him again in a bit more of a serious fight. But that was absolute genius, because I was expecting a big boss battle, and it's one punch, you know?
Yeah.
It's a total Batman versus Guy Gardner, one punch.
One of the things I actually quite like about the game, and this is maybe a bit sadistic, is dying. And you get the little set piece. With
Where the person who kills you gets to say a few words. That was really cool, yeah.
And I like the fact that it's actually got several options for each of those characters as well. It's a really cool touch that they've done with each of the games so far, but I can't actually think of another title that's done something similar to that.
Boys, get him out of here. And don't ding up any of the gear. It's worth some money.
So would you recommend it to someone?
Absolutely, I think so. In terms of the last volume in a trilogy, though, I think it does let itself down a little bit if you view it in that kind of context. As a game by itself, brilliant, had a lot of fun. If you liked Arkham Asylum, perhaps it's not too much in line with that. It's more of an Arkham City type game, like you said. But if you enjoyed Arkham City, it's more of the same. You will enjoy this game as well, is the way I look at it. But overall, I think I would recommend Asylum or Arkham City over this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say if you've never played any of them, play them in order.
Play them all, though.
Yeah.
Play them all.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah,
all great games.
I would have trouble recommending Arkham Origins for £45, which is what it was retailing at in game.
True.
I had like gift cards and I had some points saved up on my game reward card, so I got it for £30. I'd say it's worth £30. It'd be very worth it at £20. But if you're a fan of Batman or if you really liked Arkham City, I'd recommend picking the game up.
The strange thing about this game for me is the fact that I expected it to be as basic as like those Streets of Rage types games are, but it's tons of RPG elements.
Yeah, it's got a lot of the tropes of like a Final Fantasy or a game similar to that, where you can level up your characters, you can choose what skills that you have. I like the fact that it's very similar to like old school D&D, the actual tabletop game as well.
Yes,
and
especially
you can actually
choose.
and you can actually choose how you build your character rather than just obligatory level ups and this is what you get. You can actually choose to go down a certain route with each guy.
Because it also means playing the same character multiple times. You can choose different ways depending on the style of the other people you're playing with. I mean, you would have two different experiences playing that solo and then playing it with your mates.
I mean, yeah, because I've played the single player like by myself, and like the scaling in it feels totally different to the multiplayer, when the fact that you have to essentially take down the big bad guys and all that kind of thing and make sure you know what all your skills are doing, whereas in the multiplayer it's like, how can we all concentrate on destroying this one guy and like as quickly as possible, and it's like just things flying across the screen. And
it does get pretty hectic to say the least, because sometimes I was like, right, and I'm oh no, wait a minute, I'm in a corner.
Yeah, just like spiraling off in the distance, like the guy's over here.
Yeah, I think I spent the majority of the time that we played it like up out the top of the screen, because I was just aiding, like hitting guys up in the air and then jumping up after them and attacking them. Which seemed to be the majority of the time that I spent was in the air just attacking guys, and then landing and not knowing where it was because it was a big mass brawl on the ground, so you can see where anyone was.
But it's really hard to see a lot of the time, because there is so much going on. But the thing I liked about that is there is so much going on. There's no slowdown in this game whatsoever.
Like, even in the kind of village hub section where you can just attack each other.
There's like there's stuff going on everywhere, and you're just like, why isn't this game like crawling to a halt? There's over 1 million sprites on the screen and they're all beautifully rendered large things. Wow.
Well, the art style is interesting to see.
Oh, it definitely is. It's like Conan the Barbarian on steroids, isn't it? Like everything's just beefed to the max.
I mean, it did get a bit of a bad rep because of the way the women look, but the guys are just
as ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be fair to say that the warrior guy, the big armor suit, he's got a bigger chest than any. It's about that size, and his head's about this big.
It's like
Beetlejuice.
Well.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous proportions, but I guess that's the guy's art style. I mean, I'm not going to fault it, but I mean, I guess people only focus on what they want to focus on.
Exactly.
Flanked by guards, you are led through the secure castle. Princess Vivian and Prime Minister Gustav awaited you.
I mean, I quite enjoy it because it does have a kind of pseudo storyline. You don't really need to pay attention to it if you don't want to. You can just kind of skip everything and go, right, I want to start fighting people.
Yeah,
I have that arcade feel to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Maybe it does have a lot more depth than your normal kind of dungeon crawler, so to speak. It isn't just like it's a go from point E and hack and slash. There is you've got the shop where you can actually evaluate and grade your items you've got from the dungeon crawl, essentially.
That's why I actually quite like that when you get equipment you don't necessarily know what it does, because why would your characters know exactly what a magic wand or magic staff does? Just by looking at it you need to go and get somebody to go, well, it does this.
Yeah,
you want it?
I think that's a feature that more games should have, that like you said, your character's not going to know all that stuff. Take it to somebody to get it evaluated and go, oh no, this is a level 5 sword. I think that's an absolute cracking way to do it. And it means that you're going to have to be a lot more picky and choosy than what you're actually looking at evaluating, because it's costing you gold.
It's something that a game like Borderlands, the Borderlands series, could benefit from, I think, because the bad thing about that game was the majority of guns that you got you just picked up and then you realised that they weren't as good as the gun that you had anyway.
It was like trial and error more than anything else. It was like constantly getting
whereas that, it's kind of like it rewards you for going and actually getting stuff and paying to see what it actually does, and it tends to be whenever you pay for something it has actually got different abilities and things like that from the stuff you already have.
I mean, the issue with that is I think that's a problem with all these types of games, where it's like mostly about collecting loot, like Borderlands, Diablo, World of Warcraft, things like that, where you get so much loot that half it is just an absolute waste. Whereas this has a feeling that you're not getting as much, and it could be crap and it could be good.
But there's that option to instantly sell it. Like just go, I don't like the looks of that, just gone, that kind of thing. It's really quite...
I think it does a good job of branching between those types of games though, because obviously in World of Warcraft the combat itself isn't actually very fun to do, because you're literally just clicking on a character and it goes in and attacks and you just choose which abilities you want to get to use at the time. Whereas in this, when you get new abilities and stuff, you actually have to use a bit of skill and different inputs to actually use them. It actually feels like a fighting game.
I think that's one of the things I really liked, is that in a lot of these slashing games you have one combo and that's it, but this one you can control how you chain things together. Like I was playing as the archer class when I was playing through the single player, and you have to kind of like you can combo a straightforward combo, then you can kick them into the air, follow them up, hit them in the air, and then you can do a downward combo on the way back down, and like you can also shoot arrows into the air when you're doing it. So when you're playing with more people, you can like get someone to be the launcher and everyone else can power into them.
Well, we did that quite a lot when we were playing, because I tended to be launching guys a lot, and then you would hit them in the air with like a spell, keep them in the air, and you would dive in and attack them while they were in the air as well. It was quite good.
And that's the good thing as well. I mean, they've got plenty of classes there to choose from, so you could find yourself picking it up again later and playing through it as a different character, which to me is what matters more in a game than just having a big, massive, solid campaign. It's like you need that replayability.
Well, that's definitely there in this game, because as I say, like in these sort of games we're questing for booty all the time and getting all these little bits and pieces, that's what keeps people hooked. Like, you know, just want to get that like next level. I want to get that next skill, that next perk, that next thing. And so you got all that and the multiple characters. You could play this game for a really long time just trying to get every little thing you feel like.
would you recommend this to like your friends?
Oh yeah, I hope so, because I want someone to play with online. I just want to get everyone together and get this kind of like dungeon questing on the go. It's that kind of game that like you really like you can enjoy playing with people. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. In single player, yeah, it is fun by itself, but you really kind of want to just get the whole party together. Like it's like D&D.
Yeah,
you know, you want to have that.
see, that's the thing for me is that it promotes couch play with friends.
Yeah,
which a lot of games.
Local co-op.
Aye,
remember that?
You get Diablo 3 does it, another dungeon crawler. You get Dragon Crown that does it, and it's like. Again, it needs to make a resurgence, but it used to have 4 people playing on the same TV together as friends.
On one screen, it wasn't split into 4 bits. So you're not sitting
and not have to play online with somebody going, "The fuck are you doing, you little dick?" It brings that kind of party element back to it, I think.
And those comedy moments where you accidentally like punch someone across the screen who's on your own party, that kind of thing. It's
or even that point where you like a goblin or a mage across the screen.
And it's like
friends are laughing together.
Yeah.